It's about 2 weeks ago now, I created this YouTube channel, and I created a separate YouTube account from my own personal one. On my personal one, I have YouTube Premium, so I really don't see any ads. For this one though, I've noticed I keep seeing the same theme of advertisement for almost every video that I watch on this channel. And every single advertisement seems to be advertising Walmart automation. Now, I find it hilarious because as a Walmart dropshipper myself, I know the success that you can have as an individual, and hearing the sales pitches of some of these is quite comical. So in this video, we're going to talk about, is Walmart dropshipping right for you? What are some of the pros? Because there are actually some pros, some good things, and then what are the cons as well? And you can weigh out for yourself if it's right for you, but I'm going to lay it out from my experience being a somewhat successful Walmart dropshipper. So let's get into it. So the first pro that we're going to list with Walmart automation is that it can literally be a hands-off business for the most part. Now, with my business, like I said, it's very successful. It's doing well. However, I am in it every single day. I have 3 virtual assistants that do all of the actual repetitive stuff, but there's still fires that I'm putting out every single day. No business is completely passive. There are forms of investment that get close to that, but no actual business until the later stages becomes fully passive. But Walmart automation, for the most part, you're able to get that fairly quickly. The second one here is that you don't have to deal with returns. And this kind of piggybacks off of the hands-freeness, if you will. Having that taken care of for you is nice. I've literally had this office room here, like there's still some stuff over here that you can't see from returns because it happens, that's unavoidable. Even if you have the best customer service, sometimes people order stuff knowing that there's a very good chance that they return it, and they do. So if you're not able to get those to the store right away, you're stuck with those. And so you've kind of got a time crunch. By the time you get products to them, if you're doing it yourself, you generally have about a week to actually get those returned to Amazon or Home Depot, whatever your supplier is. And for us, Home Depot is actually about a 45-minute drive each way. So super inconvenient there. To be able to have that removed from you is actually kind of nice. The third one here is that you have a team of experts doing everything for you. This is a very good thing, especially if you don't know much about the Walmart platform, if you don't know much about e-commerce in general, and you just have money that you want to work for you, then it could seem like a pretty good opportunity to be able to just put cash up front and to not have to do a whole lot. One of the other pros here is the higher profit margins that you get, at least compared to alternative forms of drop shipping. Now, if you're doing like Shopify and you have your own brand of products, then there are exceptions. You're probably going to make a higher ROI on something like that. But if you compare it to something like Amazon drop shipping, where you're typically looking at about 8 to 11% profit, Walmart, you can hit 20, I've heard of 30, 35% profit margins. The higher ones don't last forever, I'm going to say that. And sometimes they're too good to be true. The softwares make it look good until you actually get a few of those sales and you realize there's an error somewhere. But we actually maintain right now about a 21.4% profit margin, which there's wholesale products I don't get that on, So to be able to do that with retail drop shipping is quite nice. So that's a huge, huge pro. So all of these are very good things. Let's talk about some of the not so good things. The biggest one, I'm just going to say it first, is the startup cost. Do you have $20,000 or $30,000 of cash that you can just hand to someone and hope that it works out? If not, Walmart dropshipping is absolutely not for you. Next, you need to have your own available credit or additional cash in addition to what it costs to pay someone to run this business for you. So you need your $20,000 or $30,000. And then if you want to have a successful business, you need at least $10,000 in addition to that. So you're looking at $30,000 to $40,000, potentially closer to $50,000 of free capital to be able to get this machine up and running. So it's very either cash or credit intensive, depending on your risk tolerance and how you want to play it. One of the other cons, you're sharing the profit. Let's say that you're not able to hit that 30% golden number that everyone wants. Let's say you're at 15%. Well, that 15% is then being split 70-30. So you get the 70, they get 30, And so that's a pretty decent chunk in addition to the capital that you're giving up front that you're now splitting with the automation company. This next con here, this really, whether you're doing automation or not, this is just part of the game with Walmart dropshipping. Things change nonstop. So if you don't have the tolerance for hiccups, for things being out of your control, then it's definitely not for you. Along the same lines, suspensions are inevitable. And with a lot of these companies, they will run dozens of different stores at the same time, and they more than likely follow the same patterns. They have similar products for every single store, and they're all making money. But if one of those gets hit, it's a domino effect. And a lot of the other stores seem to get hit at the exact same time. So that's a big con right there. The last one here, you're using, if you don't have cash and you're giving them credit cards to use, you're using your own personal credit to be able to foot the bill for drop shipping products. Now, we personally use credit like crazy for drop shipping. It's very, very convenient to be able to float funds around. However, if a suspension happens and you have your credit cards loaded up, you're still paying that bill. It's not the automation company. If you have 25, 30K in credit card debt, they're not the ones that are paying Discover or American Express, that's you. And so that's a huge risk that you take. It's important to have something like that available, but there's so much that can go wrong if you're leveraging yourself that way. And if you choose not to do that, then you're gonna have a slower start than someone who would do that. So with that being said, what we're gonna do next is jump into my computer. We're gonna look at actually the last 10 months of our Walmart dropshipping. It's not phenomenal. It's not the biggest numbers you'll ever see, but for what started out as one person, which is now a team of 4 of us now that are doing the dropshipping business, we've actually outdone what you could expect from an automation company. So let's jump into the numbers and see what you can expect yourself. All right, guys, so we are inside of a Google Sheet that I created. I ran the numbers earlier today off of when we first started like full on doing drop shipping on Walmart. Total, it's been right around 10 months now. I've got listed here, I was actually using this for another purpose, but I was like, hey, the numbers fit, so let's use it for this video too. But you might see this spreadsheet in a very soon to come video as well. But this is our total revenue. So basically I was comparing Amazon and Home Depot, and I'll explain why we choose to use one over the other. That's going to be a future video though. For this one though, in 10 months we did $234,953.47 on Walmart in revenue. We averaged of that about a 14.42% profit margin. That went up, it went way down, and it leveled out there toward the last like 6 months. But it was very, very drastic. We were like 37% the first few months, and then we were down to like 1.5%, 2%. It was just not a fun time. And then we finally found our sweet spot. This does not include the CashBack rewards. That's a ton of work to calculate, so I just left it out. But typically you can expect about 1.5% total if you average everything out, depending on the perks that you have. Unless you're using like the American Express Amazon rewards card or the Amazon store card, then you'll see higher rewards, but there are huge risks with using Amazon as a supplier, which again, that's another video. But from this $200 and almost $35,000, we hit just shy of 34K in profit. So that's $33,880.29. So what I did here is we can ignore the stuff down here, but if you look over here, it says if automated. And so what I did is I took our situation, I took what we were able to do. What if we had someone else do this for us? What would these numbers look like? The average automation company, some are more expensive than this. The average is about $20,000 to $30,000. Several are closer, $30,000, $35,000, $40,000. And that's just a lot of money to spend up front to not see a return for at least a year. So if we go with the lower number, which is about $20,000, that's your initial investment. And then you're making 70%, they're making 30%, okay? So you invest $20,000, you're getting 70% of your monthly profit, they're getting 30%. So after the time period that we've done, which is 10 months, you will be at $23,000, okay? $23,000 23,716. They're going to profit about 10 from that. And then remember, you've invested 20K that you will never see again. And so really, if you come down here, we've subtracted our initial investment from our total profit. Over the course of 10 months, you're looking at gaining a profit of $3,700. Now your ROI on $3,700 on a 20K investment ends up being about 18% of your investment. Now, this really isn't a true number, so to speak, because this is your initial investment and the profit gained from your initial investment. However, you're the one buying the products. You're the one putting forward the money to be able to get the inventory. If cancellations, if customers screw you over, you're the one eating that, right? And so this really is not a true number because we don't know how much you've spent to be able to, actually, we could run these numbers. Let's look over at my numbers here. This is totally unscripted in case you can't tell. I half know what I'm talking about. So come on over here. Startup costs for me. I literally started this with just a few $100, and then I just built out my business credit. That's going to be future resources for you as well. I literally, within a few months, was able to access over $50,000 in business credit that had nothing to do with personal credit whatsoever. Like literally, you could have a 400 credit score and get the credit lines that I did. But that's going to be future stuff, but it's huge for drop shipping. But our revenue, again, 234,953. Our costs, what it costs us to buy inventory, was $154,000. A little bit over that actually, to be able to come up with that profit. So our ROI, if you take into consideration everything that we spent, we still ended up about 21% of our investment, which is huge. Like in the stock market, if you're hoping to get, 3 to 7%, you're feeling good. To be able to hit 21% in 10 months is pretty phenomenal. And that's not even, like I said, it's not amazing numbers. They're exciting for us because I came out of nowhere and did this, And so really what we're doing, you would have had to have spent the same if you're doing automation or if you did it our way, right? And so actually what you're doing is this number plus your 20K is this, and then you're going to divide this, so it equals your 3716 divided by everything that you spent. So in reality, your return on your investment, if we make this a percentage, is 2.13%. From everything that you spent on inventory and your initial costs, you literally break even plus 2 points after 10 months, which when you compare that to other business models is not very good. What you think about wholesale, people whine about the small margins in wholesale. You can flip that stuff like crazy and literally hit 6 figures within a year doing wholesale. Drop shipping, same thing, right? As you can see here. However, you negate almost all of that when you have such a high upfront cost that you're giving to somebody else and you're splitting the profits. So after this, right, you look at next year's numbers, maybe those go up by 10, 20, 30%. You're still sharing that percentage. However, you no longer have to put forward, the next year, that initial investment. That's a one and done deal. But you bring in the factor of the unpredictability. You don't know, is Walmart automation going to be a thing next year? Is there that much longevity in something like this? And I can tell you things morph over time. I'm sure some form of this will exist, just like Amazon automation is not gone. However, who knows if you're going to have the stomach to stay in it with how much things are changing. So I hope this helped you guys, just to give you a little bit of perspective from someone who's actually done it themselves. If you look at the spreadsheet, you can kind of see some of the hints of what I'm getting at, comparing Amazon as a supplier versus Home Depot. That's going to be the next video that I put out, is we actually stopped using Amazon as a supplier. Our numbers took a huge hit, but we've been able to rebound because our profit percentage was able to be so much higher not using Amazon and all of the headaches that came along with it. So that'll be the next video. I hope you guys appreciated this one. If you did, go ahead and leave a comment down below. Let me know how your business is doing, any questions that you have, things that I can cover in upcoming videos. And then don't forget to like this video, share it with any friends or family that you have, And as always, remember to subscribe so that you are notified when the next video comes out. So this is Glomsk E-Commerce. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me, and we will see you in the next video.